It's a winning Wednesday episode of Red Sox Now. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis, one of the radio and TV broadcasters for the Worcester Red Sox. Please follow me on all my social media channels at The Radio Mike. We thank you for watching here on YouTube, presented by FanArch. And we love these winning Wednesday mornings. And, I was thinking about it. We tend to live in the moment with Red Sox baseball. Red Sox fans are like that. I think some of it might be the NFL influence. I don't know, maybe the NFL game has become so much more popular in this era, and we seem to really be more on the wins and losses, the ups and downs, but aren't we seeing how things just don't carry over? That's the great thing about major league players and any professional athlete. They're wired a lot different than we are. They don't think about what happened yesterday. They can't. There's too many games. And the Red Sox, who lost the opener of this road trip, have all of a sudden flipped everything around, and they've won 3 in a row. But look how they did it last night against a pretty good pitcher in Bowden Francis, who has struggled now in his last couple of starts. But you talk about struggling. He gave up 5 home runs in the Red Sox 10-2 win. Those 5 homers came in the first 3 innings. Duran right away. Bregman. Campbell. Did the Red Sox make the right move on this? What is Alex Cora doing? I heard everyone saying. He didn't hit in spring training. Who cares? They identified that he can play, and he can play. 4th home run. Devers hits his 5th. Abreu his 6th. What about Abreu? Everyone wanted him traded. Alex Cora put his foot down with a couple of these guys. 14 hits for the Red Sox. In the ease of having the ace, which I've talked about on this show, isn't there a sense of relief no matter who you're facing? When you know that guy's throwing, your chances of winning, to me, are always a lot higher. Not just an ace, an elite ace. Crochet went 7. He gave up a 2-run homer to Guerrero in the 3rd, so be it. He threw a lot of strikes. He looked a lot sharper last night. 62 of 94 pitches for strikes. Guerrero and Bernardino wrapped it up, and the Red Sox have won 3 in a row. They're now 3 games over 500. And all of a sudden, the Blue Jays, remember the last time they were here, they're 3 under. I talked about this yesterday. We're getting to that 25% of the season mode, where I think at the 41-game mark, which 10 games from now, it's okay to sit down and look at some things and evaluate some things, because 25% is a lot. Good to see that Tristan Casas had 2 hits. Alex Bregman had 3 hits. And what an absolute great night for the Boston Red Sox. Speaking of that, you see the headline, Breg and Manny. Anytime we can get Manny. And I was thinking about this last night. Do we underappreciate how good Manny Ramirez was as a hitter? You know, you think of Manny, you think of the antics and him cutting off the ball, and I know he wasn't the most terrific outfielder on the planet, if that even makes any sense, but the guy could hit, right? He put the ball in play a lot. He wasn't a high strikeout guy, hit for average, but I think when we now think about some of the best right-handed hitters in the history of the Red Sox, he's there for me, and I think without him, there's no Legend of Ortiz. Every Batman needs a Robin, and Alex Bregman is now in company of Manny. Breggy being Breggy. From the Red Sox Media Relations Department, players with 40 hits, at least 40 hits, and a 400 on-base percentage, and more than 5 homers in their first 30 games as a member of the Red Sox. Manny Ramirez in 0-1. What a free agent signing that was by Dan Duquette. And Alex Bregman this year. Dave O'Brien said something on the broadcast a few nights ago that I completely agree with. It's how I felt about, this is going to be weird, I'm making a Celtics reference, and congrats to the Celtics, by the way. It's how I felt about Kevin Garnett. I didn't realize what kind of nut job Kevin Garnett was and how hard he played every single second of every game until he was a member of the Celtics. Dave O'Brien said, we saw Bregman from afar, but once you see the guy play every day and he's with you, you realize how great he is, and you learn to appreciate him even more. And I couldn't agree more. I've watched a lot of Astro games over the years, but once you see Bregman play every day, and what a great signing. You see why the Red Sox were willing to go to that point in that big of a deal. But 3 more hits last night, 331, 6 homers, and 23 RBIs over his first 30-plus games. And just incredible stuff. And good that he's in that elite company. We get the company of Lucas Giolito. his 2025 debut. Baseball's not boring, by the way. He's been out for a long time. Mixed reviews in minor league starts, which is Major League Rehab. It began with with Worcester. Now, this was his spring training. Now, his last outing was not a good one on April 25th against Syracuse. He took the loss. He went 4 2/3, 3 hits. But the walks were the problem. He walked 6. He struck out 4. He threw 85 pitches in that. He had gone 51 pitches, 64, 60, 65. So I think he will be, because the big leagues, the pitches, the pressure of pitches in the big leagues is much different than the minors and in Major League Rehab tune-up. I'm thinking between 65 and 85. I think if they get 80, they will be happy. So it's very hard for me to look at results in the minor leagues and translate that. I don't think you can do that. James Paxton told us last year that he could just not get tuned up for minor league starts. And he wasn't great, but he said, I just can't. It's just completely different. I'm not as wired. I'm not as pumped up. So I don't put a lot of stock into Major League Rehab starts for pitchers because they are going to pitch differently. They are going to work on things, even in the last start. Giolito's not concerned about his numbers. He's not going to go out there and compete to the level he will in the big leagues. You just can't, and you don't want him doing that. You don't want him going out there. And now there's a side that will say, well, you need to do that if you want to pitch in the big leagues. No, he doesn't. He's been doing this for a long time. And you don't want him out there throwing pitches with so much conviction in a AAA or a AA game for what? They say he went out there and struck out, and he probably could, struck out everyone. He's been a big leaguer. He can see all the tendencies. So don't read into that. But I just hope he can give them 5 innings. This is a good lineup. This is a good test, but good to have Giolito back. And we'll see what the roster move is. I would think with Guerrero throwing last night, that will be it for him. Newcomb goes to the bullpen. Giolito's in that spot. We'll see what the roster move is because they'll have to get Giolito on the roster. So it's good anytime that you can have guys come back, and good for Giolito that he'll make his debut Wednesday night. The Red Sox going for back-to-back series wins on the road. That will be fantastic. Connor Wong in Worcester, and I was there last night. We had a little bit of a scary moment. He had a ball fouled off his glove hand. That's the issue for him. It's really weird. Usually when position players are rehabbing in the minor leagues, it's all about getting up to speed hitting. That hasn't been an issue. Connor Wong has looked great at the plate right away. He is just worried still about that fractured pinky, catching and receiving. And he did have a ball hit off the end of his hand last night. And the trainer and the manager had to come out, and we were holding our breath. And he was all right. He stayed in the game. Now, there was talk before that, and I didn't think this was going to happen, only from just watching this for years, that Wong would play one game on Sunday, then join the club in Toronto. But it doesn't look like he'll join the club at all since they're playing tonight. It looks like Connor Wong will play the next 2 days with the Woo Sox. Also, news on Yoshida. This is not good. Prior to Tuesday's game against Toronto, Alex Cora said a chance he flies back to Boston from Fort Myers, where he's been rehabbing to get checked out by the team's medical staff. The throwing part of it didn't go too well this week, so that's the issue. And it is interesting that the Red Sox are having him throw and work as an outfielder or maybe at first base. I have no idea, but I think it's smart because you can't pigeonhole a guy like that as just a DH if you're looking to move him at some point. But I don't think you want to have a guy that's just a designated hitter. And when this is all said and done, and this could be a long time from now, we're not sure where Yoshida will fit with his club, but it looks like this could be very lengthy. If he's going to get shut down now, I mean, who knows? He might not play the rest of the season. So we don't hope for that because I still think Yoshida can hit. All right, the Red Sox, they could hit on Tuesday. They go for the series win on Wednesday with Lucas Giolito on the hill. And we'll talk all about it on Thursday. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on the show of Red Sox Now, presented by Fan Arch right here on YouTube. I'm your host, Mike Antonellis. Thanks for watching, and happy Wednesday.